Joe Louis Barrow was born on May 13, 1914 in Lafayette, Alabama. He died on April 12, 1981 in Las Vegas, Nevada. One of the greatest prize fighters of all time, Joe Louis came onto the professional boxing scene in 1934. He won his first 27 fights and became known as the Brown Bomber. From outstanding amateur to world heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Louis embodied not only skill and style, but strength of character, perseverance, and good sportsmanship.
Born in a cabin in the cotton fields of Alabama, Joseph Louis Barrow rose from poverty to national celebrity as Joe Louis, the Brown Bomber. Joe's explosive career spanned 71 professional fights over a period of 17 years. Combining a steady forward movement with a swift two-fisted attack, he could defeat his opponent with a punch from either hand. In 1937, Joe won the heavyweight crown by defeating James J. Braddock in 8 rounds. He defended his title 25 times and scored 20 knockouts in the course of those wins. Though Louis came up from humble beginnings in Alabama and struggled through unprivileged schooling in Detroit, he succeeded by hard work and determination. Nicknamed the Brown Bomber, Joe became a symbol of hope to racially segregated Americans. Joe enjoyed national celebrity, and his continued success became a point of pride for blacks and whites alike in the pre-World War II years. He defended his championship against all opponents during a record heavyweight reign of 11+ years. Joe's dramatic bouts were exciting worldwide news. Joe's marriage to Marva Trotter in 1935 was also big news. He made more news when he entered the Army. During the winter of 1941-42, Joe staged bouts for the Army and Navy. He quietly donated the purse from each bout to the Service Relief Fund. Throughout his career, Joe Louis made millions of dollars from boxing, but there were so many drains on that wealth that he ended up in debt, owing over $1 million in back taxes to Uncle Sam. Joe knew the famous people of the time. He was a generous friend and patron, helping associates, needy children, and charitable causes with equal big-heartedness. In 1949, he retired from boxing. During this press conference, he talked about his hopes and plans for the future.
Say, Joe, why did you give up the heavyweight championship of the world?
Well, I gave up the title because this was a fine opportunity that I have to promote fights and also to stay in boxing.
Back in the ends of our minds, we hope to see you fight again. Is there any chance that you might get tired of promoting one of these days and go back in the ring?
No, I don't think I'll get tired of promoting because I don't get hit as a promoter.
In 1950, financial troubles pushed Louis to attempt a comeback, but time had weakened his remarkable combination of reflexes, power, and endurance. What was not to be diminished was his amazing fight record and the lasting warmth and respect of fans and friends for the man, the patriot, the sportsman, and the national boxing champion, Joe Louis.
Joe Louis, a lifetime of achievements. Joe Louis moved with his family to Detroit in 1924. It was there that he first became involved in boxing. In 1934, at the age of 20, Louis won the Golden Gloves as a light heavyweight. Following this win, Joe turned professional. Within the first year of his professional boxing career, Joe Louis won 12 contests. In 1935, Louis continued his winning streak, defeating 2 former heavyweight champions, Primo Carnera and Max Baer. Seemingly invincible, Louis suffered the first and most painful defeat of his boxing career on June 19, 1936, when European heavyweight champion Max Schmeling defeated him in 12 rounds. In June of 1937, hard work, determination, and prowess paid off. Louis won the heavyweight title by knocking out reigning champion James J. Braddock. In the 12 years that followed, Louis successfully defended his heavyweight title 25 times and scored 20 knockouts in the course of those wins. A rematch with German Max Schmeling on June 22, 1938, resulted in a significant victory for Louis, a win which also countered the rising German belief in the physical and mental superiority of the Aryan race. In 1942, Joe Louis began a period of service in the Army and worked as a physical education teacher. 4 years later, he returned to the ring, successfully defending his title on 4 different occasions. Louis retired in March of 1949 as the undefeated heavyweight champ. In 1950 and again in 1951, Joe Louis returned to the ring, but failed to recapture his title. Joe Louis holds the distinction of having successfully defended his title more times than any other heavyweight in history, and is considered one of the greatest prize fighters of all time.